at the inaugural Female Founders Forum to put your questions to the female founders.
I think it is still quite a boys' world, you know, more so than a lot of other industries. And you make a choice to either fight the ideology of that or to actually break down those preconceptions by just doing it.
I think one is not having enough women going through studies, higher level studies. There still is, if they go for engineering, they're still in the low minority, so there's still 16%, so it is difficult to break into that male-dominated sphere. So I think the main problem is around perceptions. I think we women need to stop holding ourselves back and believe that we can do anything and everything we want to put our minds to. So I would really encourage women to study science, to study maths. We need to take our place because they are the sectors of the future. So the tech sector is here to stay, so is biotech and clean energy. So we need to have more women coming through the ranks in order to make a difference.
Gosh, that's a huge question. I think the biggest challenge is the pipeline coming up, the young women coming up behind, and I think the only answer to that is visibility of role models. So we as the media have a responsibility to get those women out there and in front of people and not always trot out the same 5 or 10 women, which is a very easy thing to do because there's hundreds of them.
I think a certain type of men are scared of women succeeding, but I think a certain type of man enjoys it. I'm very lucky to be married to one, so that's a good start. I think men have a tricky time, and they're having to, I suppose, question their positions sometimes in life and in work. But women are doing exactly the same thing.
That's a great question. I don't know if they're scared. Honestly, I don't think they think about it. They can be a bit intimidated because we're changing the world order. Men have been in charge and in power ever since the beginning of time. We women take up 50% of the global population. We manage 30% of global businesses. Our time is coming.
I don't believe men are afraid of women succeeding and becoming independent. To be perfectly honest, I don't think it's necessarily men who are, creating the gap in technology. I think also it's, women have a responsibility to put themselves forward as well. And, sometimes I, over the years, have been very slow to stand up and speak on stage and things, but I completely changed in the last year or two and said, to hell with it. If somebody asks, I'm going to get up and speak as a woman, so that it's, there's visibility of the women in this sector.
Very good question. When I interview a lot of women entrepreneurs, often they quote that one of the topics of success, reasons for success for their company, is finding the right team. So I do think you need to find the right team, and you need to take the time to find the right people for your company. So I think that is a very, very important thing to do. It is one of the key factors of success. Also because investors, when they're looking at you, they're looking at your product, your idea, and what problem you want to fix, but they're very much looking at the key team that you have on board. Either full-time staff or advisors who can help advise your company. So it's very important.
Well, they say that if not one other person thinks you have a good idea, you probably don't have a good idea. So it starts with the point at which you bring one person to the table. And in fact, creating a culture and surrounding yourself with people who believe in what you're doing and who are passionate about it, that's everything. Because you know pretty quickly when the right people aren't involved, and the most important thing to do at that point is to act quickly. People are everything. You know what? Anybody can have a good idea. The trick is to execute it, and you can only execute it with the right people.
It's all about team. You have people who start up companies on their own, but really, even if they're a single founder, they should be getting a small team of trusted people together very quickly. And we'd argue that you need to do that almost immediately, and you need to make it as diverse as possible.
Use the hashtag IndoSubmit to submit your questions for future videos. I'm Clare Cullen for Independent.ie.